I cheated. I cheated. I cheated when I was in high school. There are two ways that I cheated in high school. Okay, the first time I cheated was in grade 10. One of my classmates paid me $2 every day if I let him copy my homework. Okay, so I would do my homework and then I would give my homework to him to copy, and he paid me $2 every day. Now, I did this because I didn't have any money. I had no money. I was very poor and I wanted some money so that I could buy things. Like when my friends and classmates would go to a store and buy like a Coke or French fries or something, I was always embarrassed because I didn't have money to buy those things as well. Okay, so I wanted some money to buy things. That was the first time I cheated. The second way I cheated was in grade 12 math class. Okay, in Canada, most universities require a 60% average if you want to take one of their programs. Okay, so if you want to go to university in Canada, you need a 60% average in the main subjects like math, English, social studies. Okay, and I was always a good student. I had a good average, but in math class, I didn't have a good average in grade 12 math. It was very hard for me. Okay, so on the midterm exam in my math class, I failed. I failed the midterm exam. And the midterm exam was very heavily weighted. Okay, the midterm exam and the final exam, that's like where most of your marks come from. The other tests, they only make up a very small amount. Okay, that's called weighting. If something is very heavily weighted, it means it's worth a lot. So the midterm exam, that's heavily weighted. And the final exam is even more heavily weighted. Okay, so I failed the midterm exam. I got 45% on my math midterm exam. I was so worried. I was so scared because, I mean, if I fail, I can't go to university. So one of my friends helped me cheat. So I cheated on 2 or 3 math tests in grade 12. Okay, we had a very clever system. When you take an exam, there's 2 kinds of questions. So the exam format is sort of broken down into 2 or 3 different kinds of questions. Okay, one kind is multiple choice, like a multiple choice questions. Okay, that's where you have to circle A, B, C, or D. Another kind is a long answer question. Okay, so usually on my math test there would be, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 long answer questions, and then maybe 20 or 30 multiple choice questions. Now, I couldn't think of a good way to cheat on the long answer part, but on the multiple choice questions, my friend and I came up with a way to cheat. Okay, when I was doing the test, if I didn't know the answer to a question, I would stretch. This is called stretching. Okay, I would stretch, and then, so my friend, he sat beside me, sat in the desk next to mine. Okay, so I would stretch, and that would signal to him that I needed help. Okay, then I would tap on my desk. I would tap the number of the question. Okay, then he would tap the answer, A, B, C, or D. Okay, 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the answer. Okay, so that's how I cheated on the exam, or on 2 or 3 math tests in grade 12. And the good news is that at the end of the year, my average was about 65%. So that meant I had met the university requirements and I could study most programs in university, like business or science, accounting, all of those. you need about a 60% average in math, English, social, all of those. So I had, well, in my other classes, I had a higher average, like 80 or 90. But in math, I got 65 and I was so relieved. I was so happy. Okay, so why did I cheat? Why did I cheat? Well, I cheated because I was under pressure. Okay, I had no money and I was very worried about the future. I was really worried about it. Here's what I thought. This was my thinking. Okay, if I don't pass my exams, I can't get into college. If I can't get into college, I can't get a job. If I can't get a job, I will be alone and die. Okay, this might seem extreme to you, but this is how I thought. Okay, if you're from an Eastern culture, you're lucky because in Eastern culture, families stay together. They help each other. Okay, if one person loses their job, then the family helps that person. Or if one person gets sick, the family helps that person. Okay, but in Western culture, everyone is alone. Everyone is alone. There's lots of very lonely people in Canada, the US, England, Australia. Okay, so it's a tragedy. A tragedy means it's really bad. It's sad. Okay, so everyone is alone. I mean, not everyone, but generally in our culture, people are alone. They're expected to do things on their own. You need to get your own job. You need to make your own money. You need to buy your own house, buy your own car. Everything is alone. You're alone for everything. If you get sick and you ask one of your relatives for money, they might just say, no, make your own money. Okay, so the expectation in Western culture is that you need to do everything on your own, which is why I don't really like Western culture. Okay, look at this guy. This guy has a good support system. That means if he gets sick or if he loses his job, his friends and his family are going to help him. Okay, but look at this guy. This guy has no support system. Okay, what happens if he loses his job? What happens if he gets sick and can't work? Okay, it's a very serious situation. So I want to ask you, why do people cheat? Why do people cheat? Well, I think most people think people cheat because they are bad people. They have no morals. They're immoral people. They're unethical people. That's why they cheat. Well, I cheated. Do you think I'm a bad person? Do you think I have no morals? I think people cheat because they have no support system. Okay? They're under extreme pressure and they're afraid. They're afraid of the future. They're afraid of their teachers. They're afraid of their families. They're afraid of everything. What's going to happen if I fail the exam? Okay, it's a slippery slope, we call it. If one reason leads to another reason, to another reason, if I fail my exams, then I am going to not go into university, then I'm not going to get a good job, then I'm going to not. It's a downward slope. That's called a slippery slope. Okay, so I think this is why a lot of people cheat. Maybe not everyone. I don't know. I want to know, what do you think? Do you think this is why people cheat? Or do you think people cheat because of some other reason? Let me know. You're a smart person. I think you probably have some good insight on this issue. So let me know your answer down in the comments, and I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care.